as you can see, we've got about 3 inches of packed ice. Roads aren't too terrible, just the back roads are pretty slick. People's driveways are what's the pain in the neck. You know, anybody that didn't scrape this stuff off, or sand or salt or anything, they're pretty bad. Anyway, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm just catching up with the morning stuff, because anybody who lives on a hill, I got to park at the bottom of their driveway and skate up and down the hill. But anyway, I'm going to be pulling into this development here soon, and we're going to throw 3 combination locks on, and we got some other stuff that we got to finish up here this afternoon. Alright, so as you can see, it's an icy mess everywhere. We're going to be doing these 3 exterior doors with 3 7100 combination locks. Okay, here we go with the first door. Broken. Doesn't line up. Gap in the bottom. Screws missing. I'm going to put some screws up there in the top. If I can't pull this door back, I'm literally going to have to cut this off and take this adjustable plate off of here and literally move, take it out, put a whole plate in there and just move it down with a real plate. So even with putting screws up there in the top, this door, although it does look pretty square, this is never going to line up and catch in. So I'm going to cut that plate back in, and I'm going to put a regular plate on it and drop the hole down. Just to give you an idea how cold it is here, that is a solid frozen bucket of spackle. Alright, and what I use to cut this back is the Milwaukee, the M12 fuel. I just call it my Dremel, which it is pretty much. And I'm just going to cut this back a little bit and just fold it back and forth, and it'll snap right off clean. Alright, so I did cut that back. You just fold it back and forth a couple of times and it comes right off. Now I can drop this hole and cut in for the plate, so this door will actually latch. Okay, so they still got to put a threshold on this, but the door, it all lines up pretty well. I did install that plate in there. Now when this closes, it's perfect. Now I can first put the combination lock in. Okay, so now this door is done. Closes perfect, and everything lines up nice and smooth, and we're going to move on to the other 2. Okay, so here's the next door. Broken. This one actually lines up pretty good. Okay, and this front door is now finished. Everything lines up perfect, and we're moving on to the last one. Close enough. And this is the other door underneath. They want to put another combination lock on, but they're going to have to reinforce this, at least a 2x6 or something against the back, just to be able to put something in this door, because it's not much of a door. This is that door from the outside. They just don't have a whole lot going on here until they reinforce it a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, this development has been plowed, but then we got like an inch of ice over the top of it, so everything's just literally a sheet of solid ice. I'm going to run to Fallsburg now, and I have to change out a classroom lever on one of the places that I take care of for the management company, and I'll be back with you when I'm pulling in over there. Alright, so just pulling up to this shul. I'm actually parking in the snowbank, so I got some traction so I don't wipe the place out. Just a sheet of ice. But anyway, we're going to change this classroom lever, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so this is what we have here. Even if this is locked, doesn't matter which way you go with it, it's always unlocked unless you lift up on it. So they've cranked on the handle to get in here, on the inside handle. And this is an old US lock, so this must have been in here for 5 or 6 years already. Alright, so this is changed out now and locks down fine. I swapped the cylinder because this is master keyed here. Alright, so we changed that lever out there. It was just a quick swap in and out. and I swapped the cylinder in it because it is master keyed to their in their system. I'm running to the other side of Fallsburg here. I have one of my low voltage guys that I do quite a bit of work with. He has a system put in, and he wants me to take a look to see if I have a buzzer that we can, the electronic strike that we can actually install here. And I'm going to run over there and meet him quick just to see what he's got going on. So this is what we're doing here. We're getting rid of this lever, putting in an electronic strike, and that doesn't leave us a whole lot of room to work with. And with this being a step back, I could probably tuck the wire, come right from underneath up through, but it's tough. It's like playing with fire trying to get an electronic strike in here because it's so set back, but we'll get it done. All right, so I took a look at that door is, you know, it's a fiberglass door. The wood that's on there is wrapped in vinyl, and to put a buzzer in there, especially on those modular home doors, is going to be like playing with fire with that thing. But anyway, we will get it in there. I just have to find out from the homeowner if they want an entry function lock on there, a knob, a lever. I don't know what they want. Usually when we put those buzzers in, we put it on like a 5000 series combination lock. But the door's been cut for other stuff, and it was just like a last minute thought. While they were putting the cameras in, you know, he wanted a buzzer system, so now kind of throws a monkey wrench in everything. You know, if the door had a 5000 series on the outside before and a deadbolt for off season, it would have been a lot better. But anyway, I'll find out from him tonight, and we will get that thing put in there tomorrow. It is exactly 4:58. I am headed home. It is cold. It is about 17 degrees. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm going to fight the ice here, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Alright, so we missed yesterday. I didn't get a chance to film anything. It was so busy, and it was cold. It was whopping like 4 degrees yesterday. So I just decided to skip it and not live today. So I'm going to put the 2 days into one here. But right now, we are going to a shop here in Lock Sheldrake. We got to do a 12 Avenger. They have a key, but I guess the remote portion is broken off or something. I didn't really understand it too well. But regardless, we're going to go get this done. Then we got to go put 2 combination locks in Fallsburg. Then we got to go put in that electronic strike and the entry lock, which I've been holding off to do while I was filming. And then to do some locks in a shul in Fallsburg also. And I think they need a couple of panic bars, but we got to see exactly what they need. Anyway, we'll be pulling into the shop in a minute, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so this is our 12 Avenger, and this is what we're looking at. Looks like they've been turning it on and off with a pair of pliers for quite some time. Let's go cut a new key and program it for this thing. Okay, so here's the rest of it. There's just a lock, unlock, and panic, and a trunk button on this. And as you can see, they've been using pliers and everything else. Alright, so I'm in this car, just cut a key. This shows a van on the back, but it is the same FCC. Put this key in, we'll make sure we have security right here. It should blink. Yes. Okay, we're going to choose Dodge. Agree. This is CBD special, this car. I can choose my vehicle. Dodge Avenger 8-14. Gonna read the PIN code 2586. Let's check number of keys 3. Program blank key 2586. Okay. Got our beep. 4 keys are in it now. Security light is out. I can turn this off. Remote works. Anyway, this car is done and we are moving on. Alright, so we took care of that 12 Avenger. That was quick and easy. The kid was happy as hell. He didn't want to be stranded. College kid from the local college right here on the right. But anyway, we are headed to Fallsburg. We're going to throw a couple of combination locks in. Alright, so I just pulled into this construction site. They wanted 2 combination locks in here, but as you can see where the flashing is up there on the second story, that door swings out. So I guess they're going to be SOL as far as getting a combination lock put on that door until they have a deck there, because I'm not working on a ladder. But we are going to do the side door, and I'll be right back with you. So we are going to do 2 here. We're going to do this door, and up there is another door that is in swing. And then the one up on the second floor we're not worried about right now. And this is the first door we're going to do. All busted up already. Sills broke on it. And as you can see, everything around here is a sheet of ice. Alright, so this combination lock is all set. They didn't want me to put a knob in here just because, you know, it's just going to get beat to death anyway. But I did put long screws in that grab the stud behind it. And this door is fine. Okay, so this front door is done now. This is an 8-foot door. I did have to drop that threshold in a little bit because the door was banging when it closed. And it's perfect now. Everything's surface mounted. That way when they put the whatever hardware they decide on the bottom, I can always move the plate in and out without chunking the wood out of there. And you locksmiths from the city, they keep sending me emails asking why do I put it 2 inches too high? Because when you have a screen door and the handle ends up down here, it misses the lock. So you guys that work in the big buildings in the city don't have to deal with you know, screen doors and things like that. That's why they're a little high on the door. Alright, so we threw those 2 combination locks in there. They didn't want bottom knobs or anything like that. Anyway, as you can see, these developments and back roads and stuff are still packed full of ice. But we are going to run to the other side of Fallsburg, and we're going to look to see what they need installed in this shul, and I'll be back with you. Alright, so we showed up here. Guy's supposed to meet us here. Of course he's not here. But anyway, he had his shot, and I am moving on. We're going to go install this electronic strike on the other side of Fallsburg now. Alright, so we just pulled into this development. We're going to play with fire and put this electronic latch in there. Should be fine. We'll figure it out one way or the other. And I'm going to put an entry knob in here after I spoke with him. He wants entry function. Alright, so I changed this knob out to an entry knob, grade 2. And I have this out of here. I set this up. I marked this out. This needs to be cut out. And I'm going to be putting in, I got a real narrow multi-lock strike, because if you look where this is stepped back, that's in there almost a ½ inch. And if this thing were to come way out here, it would be sticking into this, you know, when that's all the way in there. But we should be able to bypass it with the small one. Let's see what we got. Alright, I'm getting this cut in here. Just chiseling this in. If you look in here, let me show you this. This plastic is literally so thin that this will barely fit in there with the thickness of this. So I'm just literally shaving a little bit of this off. If I have to, I can take it right down to the wood. Okay, so this is all chiseled in now. The only thing I got to do is open up here, so when this drops back, the strike, you know, from up top here and down below here, so this can drop back to allow the latch to actually drop out of here. All right, and that's that. Closes perfect. And it sits on the lockout pin like it should. Door closes perfect every single time. And the combo still lines up. Alright, so we got that electronic strike taken care of. It wasn't that bad. Everything's lined up perfect. I just may have to cut that back in a tiny bit. We might get away with it, but I want to take as little wood out of there as possible. I mean, there's not a whole heck of a lot left. But anyway, it's 4:30. I'm going to head home since that other job, the guy flaked out on us. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you enjoy it, leave a thumbs up.